Hey Scorpio, now listen, we're going to be looking at what you can expect in July, and you know what, get your seatbelts on, buckle up, because it's going to be somewhat of a bumpy ride, and I'll tell you exactly what's going to be going down here this month for you. But before I get to all of those transits, let's just talk about where the main focus is. It's the 9th house. It has to do with travel, journeys, so forth, but it could also very much so be taking some exams or taking some classes, whatever that may be. Higher education is all what the 9th house rules. Some of you might be looking into getting your visas and passports and so forth all set up. We got the Sun, we got Mercury, and we have Mars. So Mars can help you if you're working on a lawsuit, that kind of thing. You're powered up, geared to get things all set and done. But the thing is, this month, the full moon is going to be quite intense. All right, we got a full moon lined up with Pluto, right? And so before we get to the 9th, you might want to look at and ask yourself, what have you possibly been storing or stuffing? Because anything that we're not expressing, resentments, that kind of thing, may very well surface on the 9th. So not only do we have a Plutonian full moon, which is going to show up, by the way, in your 3rd house for communication. So this definitely will be coming out. It will be verbalized either by you, people around you, because they're all feeling the power of this full moon. But to bring it even more juice to the table is that the Sun is opposed to Pluto on that day. And of course, a Sun and a full moon is always a full moon, right? But the Pluto is there, and Mars has just passed into an opposition to this Pluto just days before, so Mars is all fired up, still feeling the undertow of the Plutonian energy. So straight off the bat, starting in July, first days leading up to the 9th, you will feel like you're walking on a surface of something coming. Now, of course, this is, here in your general chart. As a Scorpio in your individual chart, it may not fall in your 3rd house and 9th house. It may fall totally in a different area of your chart, individually, that is. And of course, I can't see that from here. But having it between the 3rd and the 9th, it's also, you might be out and about traveling. And certain situations might surface while you're out on your vacation. So let's just hope that this is going to go by in a good way. But to juice it up a little bit more, imagine this opposition. We have Jupiter, which rules fairness, balance, right? Justice. It's squeezed in between in a T-square. So Jupiter might really want to stand up for itself or stand up for whatever underdog in the picture, right? Jupiter in your sign is, or in your chart is in the 12th house. So it's your subconscious self, it's your higher spiritual self. You might have been feeling, this is probably where you've been holding things to your inner self, behind the veils. That's what the 12th house is. So when this comes up, yes, you will see that you will be quite powerful this month in voicing your opinion. But, whenever we have Mars-Pluto involved, we have power games, we want to avoid that. Guilt trips, things that are being projected either onto us or maybe we're projecting onto others, right? We want to avoid those hot, intense energies. But let's start off top of the month, because I was mentioning Mars and Pluto being opposed. That's taking place on the 2nd of July. That is in your 3rd house to your 9th house. So on the 4th, you might have a communication coming in, and this is Mercury communicating, but coming with some surprise, unexpected news or input, coming right out of the left field. That is Uranus. So it's leaving you feeling a little bit like this. You might not see eye to eye. On the 5th, we got the Sun and Jupiter square. And here, we still are feeling the effects of that square from Mercury-Uranus. I could see, Scorpio, how you're thinking. What is happening? Why is this happening? Okay, your higher mind is going, because all you want is peace, harmony. That is your goal. The Sun, which is you, is beautifully aligned to Neptune. So your vision is good and clear. And I'd say hang on to it. In spite of the waves coming up here over these next few weeks, hang on to it, because there's nothing wrong with your vision or your hope for peace, tranquility, and harmony, which Neptune is, right? On the 7th, I feel you might have a little bit more of an equilibrium. There's balance in communication, and you're thinking, okay, you know, things are good, but that's only lasting until the 9th, because what's building behind it is the full moon is approaching to trigger, you know, these dynamic energies. And I've always said, and you've heard me say it before, what is Mars? Mars is dynamite. What is Pluto? Pluto is nuclear. So bringing the full moon, and you know how that just brings up all of our emotions to the surface, right? The full moon is feeling this, and the sun is now involved, which is you. So if you were trying at least, you know, to level out, lay low under the Mars-Pluto opposition, you know, right now your individuality is now involved too into the mix. It might be a little bit harder because the sun radiates. That's you. You radiate. The moon reflects. That's your inner emotions. So when these two are, that's what we feel every month under a full moon, the sun and the moon, right? Our inner outer self. But having both Mars, Pluto, and then the square to Jupiter inside of these energies, we'll just have to see how that's going to play out for you. Of course, watch headline news. You know, we're definitely going to see things on national news, international news, of anything that has to do with power games, projections and so forth, justice and what is not just. So we'll see that in the larger scale of things. But moving on, 14th, okay, so you've talked a little bit with whoever is involved. Mercury's delivering some great news from Jupiter, which is just going to lift your spirits a little bit. So we have that going, and I feel that there's a sense of justice that you're really taking a grip on. But then on the 17th, we have an accident-prone day. So it's not the best of news that I have to deliver this month, Scorpio. But this is Mars now squaring off on Uranus. And with everything else going on in the higher mind, okay? Especially because Venus and Neptune, they're square on this day. And this, you just like your sun was, or Mercury, was asking, like, what is going on? What's so weird about this month? Why is this happening? I'm trying to do all this good and everything's coming out of the woodwork, right? So while Venus and Neptune is trying to figure this out, and there might be a disappointment. Maybe you had planned a date and the date needs to take a rain check for whatever unexpected circumstance, event. So as you're trying to figure out this disappointment and the weird past week, your body's moving in a direction, not seeing what's coming. So it's one of those days we can stub our toe. It's accident prone. We just want to be very careful. You know, in traffic, don't text and drive, right? One of those things, and watch out for sharp objects, which Mars rules, right? But then on the 18th and 19th, we have finally a reason to breathe, come up for air. This is when Venus and Jupiter are beautifully aligned in a golden trine. This is a great money day, by the way, because they both do rule money. So if you're waiting for something, then that may be coming to you on this day. But it's also a beautiful romantic day. Venus rules love and romance, and Jupiter is just wanting to give it that beautiful touch. And for you, your Jupiter is in that 12th house, right? And Venus for you is now here in the 8th house, all right? It starts off in the month until the 6th, by the way, in your relationship area, in the sign of Taurus. So, but after July 6th, it will be moving into your 8th house of shared resources, money that you have with your partner. You may be crunching numbers, looking into how to maybe consolidate a loan, get a better interest, that kind of thing. So we have that, but on the 18th, you'll feel that there's something coming together in this area. Maybe you're receiving a bonus, some royalties or whatnot. On the 19th, we also have great news, and this is from somebody higher up. It's from Saturn. This could be from a supervisor, a boss, it could be a producer, whoever it is. But there's a contract, and I feel that the contract itself not only verbally is good standing, but it has the signature of something that could hold longevity for you. Any communication you're having with a higher up today has also that blessing of Venus and Jupiter. So I'm really happy. You just so deserve it. You've been working for it, Scorpio. And but on the 20th through the 24th, well, there is a little bit of a hiccup. So touch and go this month. And that might just be unexpected news coming. This very well could be from a coworker, perhaps somebody at work delivering some kind of message or some action which might throw you off a little bit, but you are always on top of it. That's what I love about you, Scorpio. You're on top of it. Throw anything at you and you'll just look at it and go, oh, okay, so I need to do this. That's your strength. 23rd, we have a beautiful new moon this month. So, you know, I really, really, really hope that you have your notepad out for these dates, especially for listening to this forecast in June. Listening to it early here, because once you get into July, all these bumps in the road, you know, you might want to come back, re-listen to it if you're not writing down the notes right now. But this new moon, and we know that is the time when we plant new seeds, right? For you, it will be in your career. I think you're going to be happy for that because you've worked. You've been really gradually building something that you believe in. So this new moon, not only is it planting seeds for what can come within a month, but also for the whole entire oncoming year until you get a new moon again in this area a year from now. But it's beautifully aligning up with both Saturn and with Uranus. Beautiful golden trines. What does that do? Well, that Saturn is in your second house for money and income. So if you have a golden beam from the second house to your career, right there, this new moon is going to activate and bring up that energy that you can come to trust that your money is going to be looking better. On the other end, we got Uranus, which is also beautifully lined up, which has to do with your day-to-day activity, your schedules. Maybe somehow this new moon can open up a door for you to work differently, maybe different hours, something that more correlates to you, so it could fit into this new scheme of things that you're working on. Uranus can free you up, you know, and give you a little bit more time if that is what you need, and still not lose out because Saturn is looking out for the financial aspect of it. We do have great news on the 24th. This is Uranus and Mercury. Unexpected news coming. I sense that for you, you're definitely going to feel that this, again, is a door opener, and it's coming from the area of your career, all right? Maybe you're getting an affirmation of something that you've put forward. Your request might be responded to. If you're looking for a new job, well, hey, this would be the day you want to circle in and hope for the best. On the 26th, yes, we do have Sun conjunct Mars, and Mars is your ancient ruler. Mars is in your 9th house. It's preparing, definitely preparing to get into your 10th house throughout that of July. So whatever steps you're taking, thinking ahead, right, seeing yourself down the road where you are, Mars is really going to start knocking on this door. The Sun is all now prepared to move up and forward. I mean, there's an initiation. So actually you're setting yourself up in a wonderful way for what you can come to expect there in August. On the 30th, more good news. This is a beautiful day for action coming up here between you. It could be a partner, it could be things that you are now wanting to explore. There's a lot of intimacy in what's going on the 30th. If you're single, you might even want to go out and about. You could come to meet somebody who might be so attractive because they might be a little different from who you are. Uranus always brings that attraction to either somebody who's much older or much younger or different background, that kind of thing, somebody who's quite unconventional. So it really brings those facets of your own inner diamond out too. So listen, this is what I have for you, Scorpio, this month of July. I will see you in August. So have a great month. Till next time.